Hi. I had 60 days to write and produce a full album. On my own, with little experience. Did I succeed? Did I fail? How did I proceed? And why did I find out that I suck? Stick around to find out. Stage 1. Idea. For ages, I wanted to produce a full album because most of my ideas just got forgotten on my phone until they were dusty and old and I no longer remembered what I wanted to express. Then, summer came. I had almost 3 months of summer break, therefore a lot of time. And because I'm studying multimedia productions, I also had access to great equipment, mainly the recording studio. So then, what's holding me back? Nothing. I'ma do it. A fully self-written and produced album with 8 to 10 songs. Stage 2. Writing the songs. To progress efficiently, I set myself a few deadlines. My goal? Writing 14 songs in 14 days to get into the flow of writing and later be able to choose the best ones. Every day I took a good look at my notes and picked an idea to turn into a song. Mind you, my ideas ranged from having full lyrics and bits of melody written down to just a rough subject. Depending on how much time I had, I went with one or the other. Until day 5, I progressed quite well. I had strong lyrics and good ideas. But on that day, everything I wrote was awful and I had no good ideas or melodies. I was so frustrated that I literally yelled at Jesus in prayer. I screamed through my room how angry I was and that I didn't want to do this anymore. A few minutes after this emotional meltdown, I sat down again and somehow it worked. It didn't flow like the past few days, but still I got some pretty good stuff out of that session. Most of my songs were written on my bed or my bedroom floor with just my guitar, laptop and phone. The classic home producer to future star starter pack. I know, pretty cliche, but it's the truth. The second week progressed and writing songs became easier again until the last 2 days. My brain tried to trick me into giving up because I already had 12 songs to choose from, which is more than enough. But I didn't give up. Those songs didn't end up on the album, but who says they were pointless? Because their concepts were so different, they were some of the most fun demos to make. Stage 3. Demos and rewriting. So, now I had 14 songs and needed to make demo versions. My next deadline, 2 weeks to make demos and perfect the songs. Let me tell you, those weeks were stressful. Every day I packed my guitar and my violin on my back, threw my backpack into my bike basket and pedaled to the studio to record. Quite often, I wondered how ridiculous I must have looked. The search for suitable sounds began and it sucked up so much time. My plan was to create demos in the first week and then go over them with my singing teacher in the second week, which meant 2 demos per day. There was only 1 day where I actually managed that. My solution, I worked on the demos alongside the correction sessions with my teacher. Together, we went through the songs I knew I wanted on the album, and on the rest of the day, I finished the remaining demos. That worked. However, showing my teacher those demos was torture. Every time I listened to my singing or rapping, I wanted to sink into the floor. She cut so many filler words and rephrased my lyrics so perfectly that by the time we got to the 4th song, I was already mentally deleting half the lyrics before I even played the demo. That was painful. And also the moment where I learned that less really is more. Honestly, I don't really know how I succeeded with this plan because self-discipline is not my forte. I wasted so many days on social media, especially YouTube, regretted it every evening while trying to fall asleep and promised myself I'd be productive tomorrow with only 4 hours of sleep, which is a great setup to fail, by the way. But somehow I'm standing here telling you, I did it! I finished all the demos and improved my songs thanks to my teacher. Stage 4. Recording and producing. Half time. Throughout this project I learned so much, but looking back, this is the stage where I learned the most. The next few weeks were dedicated to recording and producing. Let's go. Now, this is where it counts, because whatever I do here, the whole world will listen to it. Probably not. My audience is quite small, but you never know. Though this thought didn't really help my self-discipline, but hey, somehow I did it. Pretty soon I realized I suck. I suck at singing, I suck at rapping, I suck at recording, I suck at playing the guitar, I suck at producing. What am I even good at? Eating chocolate? I was completely shattered. Why am I even making this project if you can't listen to it because it's so bad? That was a really good moment to stop, in my opinion. Then I remembered that was exactly what I wanted, to get better. And to get better, you first need to realize that you suck. Okay, perspective gained and my brain refocused on my goal. By the way, remember how I said I'd have 8 to 10 songs on my album? Well, during the process, it slowly sank in that with my poor self-discipline and my messy workflow, there was no way I could succeed if I kept holding on to 10. It hurt to let go, but in the end, I decided to have 7 tracks on my album and make them good instead. Honestly, it stung for a long time, knowing that I couldn't achieve my initial goal because of me. The list of things I learned about recording vocals is long. Most importantly, don't fix it in post. If the raw recording sounds awful, the whole mix will too. Obvious, right? But if you're stuck with a bad take and no time to re-record, that lesson really burns into your bones. Oh my god, that is awful. Another highlight was that I often struggled with muddy vocals because I used too many effects and layered them wrong. Then I randomly stumbled over a tutorial by another producer and he had a completely different workflow. I copied what he did and all of a sudden my vocals cut through the mix and they were smooth like butter. Also, it took me about 3 songs to finally figure out how to get decent takes for different emotions and dynamics with my specific microphone. And in the end, I don't really like how my vocals turned out because they're not as present as I wanted. I have the slight suspicion the pop filter I used has something to do with it. Stage 5. Release. Legal stuff first. I registered myself as an artist at the Society of Musical Performing and Mechanical Reproduction Rights, such a long word, to secure my rights and get royalties in case I ever make money. I probably won't, but once registered, it's valid for life, so why not? As I said, not every song made it onto the album, for example, the first one I wrote. The instrumentation and vibe were similar to my previous songs and I wanted something different. Additionally, it was quite personal and really dark, so I thought it's a bit too heavy for this album. On the other hand, that's exactly why I'm making music, to tell stories from my life and share my raw emotions with you, even when it hurts. On Spotify and most other platforms, you can't upload music yourself. You need a distributor. I didn't know that beforehand, which caused my release to be delayed by 5 days. There are many online distributors, and after some research and consulting with my teacher, I settled on one that seemed best for my situation. On that platform, I was able to master my tracks, make them sound more cohesive and professional, and finally, upload my very first album. While I was waiting for it to be quality checked and then distributed to all platforms, I made this video to share my struggling journey with you. In the end, you watching this video means I made it! Woo! I had many struggles and learnings, but I'm so grateful I did it. Is it perfect? No. Is it the best album you'll ever listen to? Definitely not. So, the moral of the story, we all suck at things we try for the first time, but keep at it and you'll get better. If you're curious now, check the link in the description, give the album a listen and tell me in the comments how much it sucks. Or honestly don't, because I already know. Either way, don't forget to like and subscribe, share this video if it inspired you, and see you next time! Oh, by the way, A music video is coming out very soon to one of these songs, so don't forget to hit the bell and stay tuned. See you there!